On the news, insecurity heightens in Ondo State as gunmen kidnap traditional ruler, APC chieftain in Ondo. Also in Ondo State, Amotekun intercepts trucks conveying 151 charm carrying invaders. And INEC projects 95 million vote to population for 2023 poll. Well, many thanks for joining us for News Now. I am Folashade Ogrinde. A traditional head and 3 others have reportedly been abducted by gunmen at Agopanu Axis, Inowo Ikare Road in Ondo State. The victims include the traditional head, Mukaila Bello, the Oniku of Iko quarters of Ikare Akoko, Ondo State, and 3 others. The victims are said to have been heading for Akoko area from Akure, the state capital. Speaking on the development, the spokesperson of the State Police Command, SP Fumilayo Odulami, said she cannot confirm the abduction of the traditional ruler in the state. Odulami, however, admitted that a vehicle was attacked by gunmen along Owo Ikare Road on Thursday evening and 4 persons were kidnapped in the attack. Also in Ondo State, no fewer than 151 suspected invaders have been apprehended by operatives of the Ondo State Security Network and Amotekun Corps. According to reports, the Corps made the arrest while acting on intelligence on the incursion of terrorists into the southwest of Nigeria. The suspects included 5 women hidden behind beans and rice bags inside the trailers. Dangerous charms and photographs of combat drills were discovered on the suspect after a thorough search. The state commander of Amotekun, Adetunji Adeleye, said the suspects were concealed behind bags of rice inside a truck, adding that all they were able to tell the security operatives is that they entered a vehicle and came to Ondo State. Well, we'll bring you more details of that later in the news bulletin. But moving on to political matters, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has projected a voter population of about 95 million for the 2023 general election in the country. INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu said this at an election security management training in Abuja. The figure Yakubu said was 20 million higher than the combined voter population of the 14 other West African countries in the sub-region.
Election in Nigeria is huge. We have 20 million more registered voters than the other 14 countries in West Africa put together. So each time Nigerians go to the polls in a general election, it's like conducting a general election for the whole of West Africa. It also involves a projected voter population of about 95 million for the 2023 general election. With about 7 months to the next general election, there is time for proactive measures to ensure that the entire country is secure for election to hold nationwide.
President Muhammadu Buhari has received the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress in the 2023 elections, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and his running mate Kashim Shettima at the State House in Abuja. The duo were accompanied by the APC chairman Abdullahi Adamu and Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong. Adamu said the meeting was to brief the president and get his approval on the party's plans regarding the campaign outfit. Details in this report. As the debate over the All Progressives Congress adoption of a Muslim presidential ticket rages on, the need to reassure Nigerians has become more urgent than ever. At this briefing on the outcome of the meeting between top party members and President Muhammadu Buhari, the APC National Chairman Abdullahi Adamu said the party focuses on the ability of an individual to perform and deliver rather than the religion of the person.
In the APC, we believe very strongly that no matter what description, no matter what faith you associate with any one of our candidates or any one of our officers, the party, we are first and foremost Nigerians. Just like you have people expressing fears or concerns about a Muslim ticket, there are Christians that welcome it as a positive development in Nigerian politics. They are Nigerians. They are entitled to their opinion. Any APC member who is aggrieved by this will only ask him to be patient or her to be patient and see how we develop.
The party chairman also called out members who participate in anti-party activities to sabotage the efforts of the APC towards the 2023 election.
In relation to the choice of our candidate is a minimum irreducible position of responsibility we owe the party. Every one of us has a duty inherent in his loyalty to the party to stand shoulder to shoulder with our candidate. Any result of that is sabotage. We are focused, we have a candidate, we have a campaign to lead, to win the 2023 election by the grace of God, and that's what we are doing.
On his part, the former Lagos State Governor and presidential flag bearer of the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, explained that the leader of the party, President Buhari, is in full support of the decisions taken by the party ahead of the 2023 election.
We are happy with it. That is why you see the leadership cadre. And we are able to confirm to you that we've had the buy-in of Mr. President.
Speaking on some of the activities of the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP, the vice presidential candidate of the APC, Kashim Shettima, insisted that transformation-driven leadership is what Nigeria needs rather than focus on religious affiliation.
Now the opposition have seen a winning combination, and they are petrified deep down to the marrow of their bones. What Nigeria needs right now is a leadership that will drive the transformation process. And take it or leave it. The truth that sets men free, according to H.S. Aga, is most often the truth that men prefer not to hear. Sadly, a section of the press is being used as conveyor belt for spreading lies and mischief. We want to behave like the adults in the room. We will not tread on blackmail or concoctions or exaggerated facts. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has a track record of excellence. Lagos is now the third largest economy in Africa. From the vice president to the Minister of Works, to the Minister of Information, to the Minister of Trade and Investment. These are people that he mentored.
Bola Tinubu, the APC presidential candidate, picked Kashim Shettima, the former governor of Borno State, who is also a Muslim, as his running mate for the 2023 presidential election. The development elicited outrage from key stakeholders, particularly the Christian Association of Nigeria. Folashade Ogurinde, TV360 News. Well, let's now head back to the story on the state of insecurity in Ondo State, and to speak more on the development on the state of insecurity in the state is the State Commander of Amotekun, Adetunji Adeleye, joins me now. Thank you very much for joining us on the news. Now, can you give us more details on the suspected invaders apprehended by the operatives of the Ondo State Security Network Amotekun Corps, and how these suspects pose a security threat to the state?
Well, thank you very much. During the routine operational stop and search operation, our men intercepted 2 trailers, and the contents initially of the trailers were meant, according to the driver, to be beans and foodstuff. But just behind this foodstuff, we discovered that there were over 100 men tucked into this trailer and covered So this raised some suspicion, and we brought them to the headquarters where they are being profiled now, and we are handing them over to the leadership of the Mietiala and the Hausa community, since they claimed they are coming from them. They're coming from the upper part of the country. So we have checked, and we found out that some of them, majority of them don't even know where they're going to. They just boarded the vehicle that was coming down south. So we have handed them over, and we've directed that our men should escort them back to their destinations, or at least out of the state. To those of them that are going through the new business of food selling, we handed those ones over to the leadership of Mietiala, who traced their shops, and they delivered the goods before going. So that's the situation for now.
Now we've had reports of kidnappings and killings in Ondo State, the most recent being the alleged abduction of a traditional head and 3 others. Kindly confirm the authenticity of this incident and what the Ondo State Security Network is doing about the state of insecurity in Ondo.
Well, in the last few months, there have been increase in crime around the southern part of the country generally, not only in Ondo State, and the isolated cases of kidnapping and abduction that had happened in Ondo State, we've been able to bust a number of such activities, and our men in the Operation Cleanup exercise that we're doing are working around the clock, 24-hour patrols in all the 18 local government areas to apprehend criminals and reassure residents of their safety. So as we right now, I think the situation is not as bad as it was earlier, and I think very soon things will return to normalcy in the state.
Well, indeed, Ondo State Commander of Amotekun Adetunji Adeleye, thank you very much for your time and your contribution. The International Organization for Migration has held its closeout event for its Migrants as Messenger MAM project, a peer-to-peer advocacy program where returned migrants raise awareness among their communities on safe migration pathways and the dangers of irregular migration. The event held in Ikeja, Lagos, had 43 returned migrants from different states in attendance as they received certificates of participation for their volunteering and awareness-raising activities. Our correspondent, Mary Kanu, has the details in this report.
I traveled with my wife and my junior brother. So inside the militancy, our boat capsized. I lost 2 of them.
Stories like this birthed the Migrants as Messengers campaign implemented by the International Organization for Migration in Nigeria as an outreach program to show empathy to victims of irregular migration and put an end to discrimination and stigmatization. Established in 2018, the project was implemented in Edo, Delta and Lagos states as data from the IOM shows a high rate of irregular migration to Libya and Europe from these states.
I passed through hell while I was in Libya. I was tortured. There was a point whereby where I was captured in a prison. There's a prison called Tranque, that's a local prison in Libya. Where I was captured, there was a time when I was beaten for me to pay a ransom. I was called out to call my people. I was unable to call them to pay for the ransom. So they used naked electric wire. They plugged it and they used it on me. Immediately I fell down.
Sharing their experiences through art and content creation, some returned migrants say the peer-to-peer outreach will help stop youths from falling into the hands of traffickers.
This closeout event is more like welcoming us to a new stage because Migrants as Messengers project is coming to an end, but then advocacy and sensitization wouldn't end. So we are taking it to the next level.
I put it upon myself to use my story, my experience to touch lives, to educate the potential migrants in Nigeria.
Organizers of the event say projects like the M&M will support the government's efforts to manage migration and help citizens make better informed choices.
We've had people who'd traveled irregularly but now have come back with a second hope to build their lives again in Nigeria. And many of them have learnt very new skills in terms of videography, expressing themselves through art, being able to communicate their stories through digital platforms.
I think it's something that should be continuous because we really need to see more of this happening so people would be aware of the use of irregular migration so they'll make informed decisions whenever they want to travel, to know that they have to do it right and not go through an illegal way just to travel for greener pastures.
While calling on volunteers to preach safe migration pathways, the event organizers handed out certificates and gifts to returned migrants for their participation in awareness-raising activities on orderly and regular migration. Mary Kanu, TV360, Nigeria.
We'll take a break here, but still to come. World Bank commits $8.5 billion to Nigeria for $6.7 trillion naira subsidy. Details of the story and more right after this break. Welcome back. Now here is a recap of some of our top stories tonight. Traditional head and 3 others have reportedly been abducted by gunmen at Agopano Axis or Woikare Road in Ondo State. The victims include the traditional head Mukaila Bello, the Onuku of Iku quarters of Ikare Akoko, Ondo State, and 3 others. The victims were said to have been heading for Akoko area from Akure, the state capital. We also told you that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has projected a voter population of about 95 million for the 2023 general elections in the country. According to INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu, the figure was 20 million higher than the combined voter population of the 14 other West African countries in the sub-region. Well, in case you missed any of our news bulletins, so for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. South Africa's health regulators reported a causal link between the death of an individual and Johnson & Johnson's COVID-19 vaccine. This is the first time such a direct link has been made in the country. According to the report, the person presented with rare neurological disorder Guillain-Barré syndrome soon after being given J&J's Johnson vaccine, after which the person was put on a ventilator and later died. We'll take a breather here and return with more stories and business. Just stay with us.
Corruption not in my country.
Hello? Yeah, I found your wallet in front of a supermarket. Meet me at Apple Junction. Yes, I'll be waiting for you.
Now we find out. 2 of us.
Thank you very much, officer. You know, it's surprising that men like you still exist in the police force.
Yes, so...
Oh, yes.
This is just a token of my appreciation.
Oh, no, you don't need to do this. We are only doing our job.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Now I know police is really my friend.
Yes.
Friend. Hey.
Okay, which came out with this one? I don't understand. You know your problem. You are greedy. I'm a policeman who is doing his job. All forms of corruption in the force, not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. Well, up next is business news and stock market review with Mary Kanu. Over to you, Mary.
Well, many thanks, Folashade. Helen, welcome to Business News. The World Bank has committed $8.5 billion to Nigeria to fund critical issues ranging from agriculture to education. The World Bank Country Director to Nigeria, Shubham Chowdhury, said the amount was the largest of any country. He, however, explained that while the fund was still small compared with the needs of Nigeria, around $2.5 billion to $3 billion of the fund had been channeled towards education. We'll take a break now and return with a review of the stock market. To stay with us. The last trading day of the week has the bull showing off and taking charge of the local bulls as the market rose to 0.28%, with investors making 82 billion naira. Now, in the aggregate, over 100 listed equities participated in trading, ending with 24 gainers and 10 losers. Eterna led the gainers with 10% share price appreciation, closing at 7 naira 15 kobo per share, followed by Multiverse. Now, at the end of the last weekday of traded, a total of 148 million volume of shares valued at 1.925 billion naira were traded in 4,091 deals. Now, we can only hope the gains extend into the new week. A look now at some select global stocks. Now, in the UK and the US, stocks fell in a volatile trading session after the July jobs report was much better than expected, as both stocks fell to 0.11% and 0.33%. Inversely, Asia's stock Nikkei has the bull in charge and is trading up at 0.69%. That's the stock market report. It's back to Folashade for the latest from the global scene. Folashade.
Well, many thanks, Mary, for that update. And in Taiwan, the Taiwan's foreign ministry has defended U.S. Speaker Nancy Pelosi's brief but controversial trip to the island. Joseph Wu condemned the large-scale military exercises that China began around the island on Thursday. He said Pelosi's visit was extremely significant and China's response would not stop democratic politicians being invited to Taipei. China sees Taiwan as a breakaway province that will eventually be under Beijing's control. However, Taiwan is a self-ruled island that sees itself as distinct from the mainland. Well, up next is Entertainment Report on News Now.
The 2021 theatrical movie Collision Course has been confirmed for a Netflix debut nearly a year after its Afref world premiere. Producer Bolanle Austin Peters shared an Instagram post detailing what fans can expect from the movie. The story, inspired by the NSAS protest against police brutality, tells the story of a rogue law enforcement officer and an aspiring musician. The movie stars Daniel Etim Effiong, Bimbo Manuel, Chioma Akpotha, Kalu Ikeagu, and a host of many others. Award-winning actress Omomi Dada has opened up about her experience on the set of the Netflix adaptation Eleshionba, The King's Horseman. Describing the project as surreal and exciting, Dada revealed that it was indeed an honor to portray the bride in the first ever screen adaptation of the play. The movie stars A-list actors Shafi Bello, Jide Kosoko, Deyemi Okolawon, Jenny Stead, and Langley Kirkwood. And that is all on the entertainment segment of News Now.
Away from entertainment, now to sports. Nigeria's government, through the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, has splashed a total of $25,000 on Team Nigeria medal athletes and coaches at the ongoing Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, United Kingdom. At a ceremony held on Thursday night, the athletes and their coaches were rewarded for bringing glory to their fatherland. Gold medal winners Ajijat Adenike Olarinyoye and Rafiatu Folashade Lawal received $5,000 each, while their coaches were also given $3,000 each. And that's the size of our news bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I am Folashade Ogurinde. Bye for now.